Hey, it's William. This is not like tutorial video. It's more like an experiment video. I try to bridge the 3D software, which is Blender I'm using, and try to experiment a little bit with the 2D drawing, because I have been playing with Grease Pencil in Blender a lot of times, and recorded multiple tutorial video about it. I think we do have a great potential, so I want to go further. Okay, so I use like a Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint to paint and drawing manga, drawing illustrations, and I love how freedom that I get in that drawing software, and how I can use different texture and different combination, different settings to do a little bit experiment with the brush. So I want extend the 2D brush into a 3D space, and I believe Blender can actually do that. So I'm going to like a stray away from Grease Pencil just for one bit, and trying to solve the problem of how to use that customized brush filling in 3D space. So I'm going to try to use a geometry node, because I can have a lot of like a coded logic in it, and then I can use this to quickly generate things. Okay, and by the way, it's not a tutorial. It's just a me play around. So it might not get a really decent result, or maybe we can get something that have never existed before. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I just want to be completely honest with you guys, and let's start our journey. By the way, if you stumble upon my channel, this channel is all about me get unemployed as a programmer and dive into the digital arts, and learn from scratch. I have never been to art school. I learned traditional art and share my traditional art journey, digital art and animation, stop motion, filmmaking, Grease Pencil, yeah, all sort of thing. Okay, so if you haven't already, please give this video a thumb up if you think my video is helpful, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so you can watch more of my videos. Okay, let's get started. So first step, of course, let's delete the queue and add a queue. Okay, I don't know what is the culture about, but when I watch 99% of video, as long as about Blender, it's just delete it. And sometimes even I don't know why they're deleting it and add that. Maybe it's clear the loose the orphan data or something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, maybe yeah. Let's just start with this cube. By the way, okay. So I am going to make a separation of window, which is pretty hard thing to do. I think maybe the trick is just to hold there for a few seconds, and then just make sure. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to change that to geometry node editor. Okay, and yeah, just play around with this bit. And by the way, I got my screencast key plugin installed, so I can show this little mouse here. Really nice tool, so you can know which key I'm pressing. I'm pretty new to geometry node, but I previously work as a programmer, so I know a little bit about logic and workflow, and I previously I just play around with the shading a lot. So yeah, geometry node is a completely new area for me. But yeah, let's do this together. So I try to make things more like a drawing. So if you think about drawing is like a stroke and a stroke and a stroke and a stroke. Okay, you can get some sort of a painting. You can get some sort of a maybe manga drawing is just a line art. But all in all, if you doing a complex drawing, you're going to draw on here, and then you draw another stroke on here, and maybe add shading, cross hatching, just a line over line over line, and we use different color, different line, different density, different dots to represent a like light and shadow, and try to express the 3D in 2D space. Okay, that's what I learned about drawing in 2D space. So let's just use the geometry node so we can new things. And right now we'll automatically generate like 2 nodes. We don't need too much of the left, just like a nice preview will be fine. Okay, we got like a geometry input, like group input with geometry, and we got group output with geometry. Okay, so it's basically just you know, the default stuff with geometry. So the first thing I got in mind is about like a dotted shading and cross hatching. This is some of the techniques that I learned while learning traditional art. Basically, just you know, you got a surface, you dot on it, okay, like crazy. And if you want it like to go pretty dark, you go more dot. If you got like light or like a intermediate sort of a shadow area, you got like a less dot. So I believe we can have that dots by using the point. Okay, point to volume, set point, point to vertices. I believe we got a lot of points. Distribute point in volume. So inside this volume, we got a lot of points. Points on faces. Yeah, we can use distribute points on volume or distribute on faces. Right now, I don't think it's got a volume here, so that's the reason why it disappeared. Let's delete it. And what about on faces? So I do have faces here. Maybe we don't have volume. Yeah, we do have faces. So we got like points, different points here. Okay, that will do. If that's what I'm aiming for, I can increase the density so it can like fill everything. Yeah. So yeah, I believe if I like go to the render mode, I can get this dot as a some sort of just got it in some sort of okay, I can't do that. So I can't do that while in a render mode. That's very strange. So viewport shading wouldn't work. Maybe I don't have instance at this dot. I don't have instance at the dot. Okay, so this is just a point without any instance. So what about we make an instance? So let's got instance on point, yeah, we got like the point, so we can make it on. But right now still no thing appear, and that's because we don't have any of the geometry that is instanced on point. Okay, so what about I add some geometry? Okay, read sample normal operations. Okay, right, set ID operation geometry to instance. What's that? Geometry to instance. So we got a certain geometry, we got an instance, and I believe that I can plug in instance maybe. Okay, but what about geometry? We got arc, we got drawn geometry instance mesh, curve to mesh. Okay, it's just such a mesh. Point to vertices. Okay, so I have to find that specific geometry. Okay, let's continue to try things. We got a geometry here. I'm not sure that will work. Okay, so Shift and A. Instance. Can I get? Okay, this is just a. What about mesh? Primitive mesh. We got column cube. Yeah. So what about like if you draw at least digitally, I think maybe like traditionally you got the point of your brush. Normally it will be like the rounded dots. So let's try this. No guarantee it will work, Okay, so primitive. Can I get a cylinder grid? Yeah, if I use grid, I can add more like a custom like shape. Cylinder, cube, cone, mesh, circle. I got generate a circular ring of edges. Then we have to like fill it. What about cube or cylinder? Cylinder mesh. I think if you like want to do a stroke sort of feeling, you should do grid. But you can also let's just just for fun, let's add some cube here. And density is too much, so I'm going to decrease the density to I don't know, maybe 10. Okay, maybe 5. Decrease that. Maybe it's just 2 or even 1. Oh my gosh, still too much. Okay, maybe we can't leave it like overlap. So 0.3, and we can like generate different seed, so I can go like different feeding. Okay, this is really like the Lego, but it's sort of like randomized the Lego. So I'm going to like decrease that a little bit because we don't want like fill everywhere. So if I got something like this, yeah, but I think yeah, we got a problem. So if you like walk from the camera, all this is like a 3D shape. It's not like facing you, and I don't want like every stroke to be something like this. So maybe not using 3D shape. Okay, maybe using a texture mesh instance, curve geometry. Okay, read. Okay, we can't do that. Operations, geometry instance, output, input. Okay, what I'm gonna do is to got a primitive topology. What about that? Corner edges. Okay, maybe just primitive grid. Okay, because we can add a specific map to the grid. Okay, can I do this? Mesh the geometry instance, and yeah, so I can even like add density. So it's more like it. This is more like it. So for example, if I like it, we select this cube, I scale this up, okay, and I can like fill this with like 0.1 to, okay, this will be like a really messy hair sort of feeling. Okay, what about 0.1 to maybe not 0.1, 0.5? Okay, so it'll be a line, like cross-hatching sort of line. Let's go from top. I think maybe I need to like randomize a little bit. So vertices, I don't need to worry about density. Okay, so I can increase density and fill density. This can be work like the shading parts. I think this can work like a shading. Okay, so we got this experiment. Pretty good, and they can also work as some sort of effect. Okay, so if I like change the seed, okay, you can work as some sort of like impact line. So if I doing some sort of anime, I'm going to like increase this to a crazy amount of maybe 1 and decrease all that to like 0.01. Can I do that? Okay, so I got like a really dotted sort of line, and I can like change different seed. It will be, yeah, it will be very interesting. So I can like make it really long. It's some sort of like an impact line. So by the way, if you don't know, let me quickly show you. And yeah, let me just show you. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Okay, I got this previously I got like a drawing practice. Yeah, like this. Okay, so like a time lapses of how I draw this dynamic pose. I'm going to mute it for Okay, let me just show you. Because it's me drawing like a sort of like a manga style in Photoshop, like a test out the pen, and I just found out while I'm testing, you can get like an impact line here, so you guys as you guys can see, you know, when I draw someone like hit like a jab, okay, so you like really quick, and in manga we got like a lot of impact line, so it's sort of like indicate that he's doing pretty quick. I believe that we can also use that maybe in animation. Okay, and I just found out that we can do this in Blender as well. So can I just go to you know, the render mode? Yeah, I believe that we can. Okay, we can got all this as an impact line. Okay, and we can do something like can I get a background? Okay, let's change its background. By the way, it's not like tutorial, it's just to experiment things and you know, just to think about things. Okay, and maybe just like a dark hit, and make all this reference line gone, so I can actually see the result. Okay, and I can like change the seed, so it's it's very much like the impact line. Okay, so let's change the density. Okay, so you can sort of think of this like a meteor or like a you know, a jet. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. I believe that I can use this multiple times, and whenever I want to add that effect, I can maybe make it a brush or like a plugin. So every time you want to do that in animation, I can quickly generate all of that sort of a mesh, and make it instance, and whatever shape that you do that, just plug in this geometry node, and we got the impact line. Okay, pretty good. Okay, this so this will be a one of the successful experiment, and let's continue. Right, so far so good, but clearly this method has its fault. Let's change like a more contrast background. Can I get something like a really dark blue? Okay, so right now it seems okay, right? We got like impact line, but when you rotate the camera, okay, you hold the middle mouse, you rotate the camera, you gradually think when you like go to the side view, okay, you're like from 7, like a top view, bird view, looking up, down, because it's grid. Okay, grid do not have like a thickness, so when you like look from above, you got like a full shape, but you like go to the side, like here, you go to the side, and just become narrower, and it's gone. Okay, like I go to like front view, side view is gone, 7, everything is out. You can even like 0.01, if you do something like this, yeah, it's even like a more outstanding if you just change the camera a little bit, it's gone. So I'm trying to like fix this problem by get the camera's information. So right now, like I got a camera here. Okay, I can get the camera moving, but while the camera is moving, like going up and going down, and there will be a point when I move and then to the side, and everything's gone. Okay, I don't want that. I want every instance info that kind of aligned with the camera's angle. So there will be some rotation involved. So how to do that? Just look at the documentation and search, Google it, and I just found that I can get the object information by using something like this, like object info. Okay, and I can color group the camera to get the camera's information. And I can get cameras to say the location, rotation, scale. I can do all that. And I can just do with the location, I think maybe. What about rotation? Yeah, that's very interesting. What about, I think maybe let's try both. Okay, let's try both. Maybe we can like experiment with it and create something new. So basically, yeah, we're going to get this like a vector information and align that. So let's look at here. We got instance rotation. So let's deal with this. Okay, we can like rotate the x-axis, y-axis, and we can control that by plugging specific rotation. What about scale? Okay, I can change the x scale. Okay, so the x-axis should be here. X scale, like I can make it longer, maybe 10. Okay, I think it's not the like x scale. What about y? Okay, here you can like make it thinner. And what about z? Okay, I don't think that influences that much. So I can like plug in the rotation or the scale to the rotation and scale to actually do that. I believe we can just use a rotation. Okay. Let's use align Euler to vector. I think it's a German word. And I read a lot of like documentation as well as other people's video. I think this will be the job for us. Okay, so if I just use the rotation and let's go to the like numpad, it will be like a completely change this to some sort of like a raindrop, something like that. Okay, or impact line, like the enemy are shooting from sky. Okay, you can do something like that. So it will be something like this. And what I'm going to do is to maybe just change the camera to here. Okay, I can increase the density and then change the seed. Okay, yeah, let's just go with the one seed. Yeah, we can do something like this. What about, yeah, X and Z? Alright, so I can do this, but I can, yeah, I think I already get the object information. What about I subtract this object's location info of camera with the instance info? Let's try to do this. Okay, so I can get the position node, and I'm going to subtract. So just I want to like the relative position to be 0. So subtract vector. Sample subdivision attached here to curve surface. We don't have it. Oh, I think it's the name of math. Okay. We're dealing vector, so vector math. We can subtract this. Okay. Subtract that object information's vector from the vector here, and we got that specific vector. I can plug this vector maybe to rotation here. Okay, and we can like an x and y, z pivot. Let's change this. Okay, yeah, I forgot to change the rotation to vector, and then rotation to rotation. Let's get this thing tested. So I am going to get all this reference line here. Okay. And get a relative dark background. Okay, and what I'm going to do is to get the camera here. The camera should be here. Okay, so what about I grab this camera? So as you guys can see, while I'm grabbing the camera is definitely moving. and it kind of like every face is facing the camera. Okay, I can actually do this. That's amazing. That's amazing. So grab at Z axis, up and down. So I believe that solve my problem. So it always like got a face that facing the camera, but that does not mean that it's a good impact line, because the impact line should be, you know, aligned with the object. Okay, so I'm trying to, you know, when I got that specific object, and that object's position should be like all this lines position. So what about here? Okay, Y. What about Y? Let me change the camera. Okay. Can I think I can got it here and grab this camera. Can I just move it? Okay, so obviously, okay, it changed a little bit. Okay, I believe this is better, but not in a like facing a camera way, but it kind of like a stick with the position. Okay, but still that does not solve my problem. So I can instead of using grid, okay, I maybe just use a cube. Okay, so I think if I use cube, I can solve this problem. So let's look at here. Okay, really big cube. Let's just go to the camera, make it 0.1, just to make it smaller. Okay, just to make it smaller, and maybe like thinner or longer, if that matter. 0.05, just to make it 0.05. Maybe 0.01, really thin. Okay, and make it longer. So yeah, while I'm using like moving my camera, okay, the position does not change. The position does not change, so I can still get that sort of feeling without changing position, but at whatever angle I can still got that impact line. And let's change the seat. Yeah, it kind of work. Okay, there will be another like experiment that I may be able to use. So every time I want like in 3D space, I got some impact line here, just you know, randomly generated. Okay, and by the way, this is kind of a vine, reminds me of hatching. Okay, and just like a different stroke. Yeah, what about, I think I just got another thing just right around the corner. What about I use like a flat out stroke and make it like facing me, so you can get like a hatching line. Okay, let's try to do this. Okay, what about I disconnect this? Okay, I get like a random node here, so I can do experiment later. I'm using grid as another experiment. Okay, and then what about okay, like that to solid mode. Okay, everything is like loaded up together. What about I change this a little bit? Maybe density, that's definitely too much. What about here? Let's go from top 0.5 as well as 0.5. Okay, the grid, I think I displace this a little bit, and it is some sort of like facing the camera, while at the x-axis they'll rotate a little bit because I subtract that. Pivot auto, Okay, so this definitely needs a little bit, but it kind of remind me of a stroke. So maybe like using brush, we got different stroke. Okay, okay. Let me experiment it even more. Okay, I play around with this a little bit. I think I accidentally got like the hatching, by like make this like extremely thin. Okay, of course, if you like make it like a more not thin, yeah, you have bad results. And you can even go to like the render view. Okay, that's even better. So you got a like hatching effect. You use the subtract, and I believe the vector node, the vector mass node, is very similar to the Photoshop's layer effect. Okay, so when you add a layer, you can subtract layer. You can do all sort of mathematic calculation. I believe that say you can add, okay, and then it will just change the like orientation of the line. You can subtract, then change again. You can, this is just a location. You can change the let's change the like a multiply. Okay, so you get like crazy shape. It's very interesting. I prefer to use like a camera mode, so I know where we are. And divides, not good. Multiply, add, not good. Yeah, cross product, all sort of like a crazy thing. But yeah, just if you don't want to like get at the bottom of it, you just want to quickly like doing some experiments, you can just quickly like browse through it. You don't need to like do the math. You just need to get the the results good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to add in some sort of color, like a really dark-ish color here, and 0. Okay, so I can get a like cross-catching effect. So the project is good. Reflect, crazy. Reflect, not good. Face forward, even crazy. Dot product, crazy. So the project will get a cross-hatching effect, and add and subtract will give me like a straight hatching effect. This is very interesting. Okay, so let's just do this project for now, and we can change the seed. You can sort of move, but I don't think this moving effect is good. But density definitely is good, because I can get all sort of like a different line crossing. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so I can get this like a 3D hatching effect. Pretty good. And of course you can change the size. Okay, you don't want to like overly size this cube, because I prefer to make it like a really small 0.5 something like that, even though it's 0.3 maybe. As you can see, it kind of extrude outside a little bit. You don't want that. Okay, and the another size, you can even make it even smaller, 0.0001 maybe, but that's definitely too little. You won't be able to see it. I don't want that. Okay, maybe increase a little bit. Okay, I can play around this all day. Okay, and you just do whatever you think is best. Okay, and yeah, of course you can like align EMLA to vector, change that to, yeah, by the way, you can use origin or relative. I use relative here. X, Y, Z, I believe Y is not good, like all this like flat to the ground, or if you see that means that I could direct it to you. Okay, so if you rotate it, you may be able to see it, but right now like the camera does not do that good. So I prefer to use Z. Okay, because basically it's like too flat. If you're doing like X, Y, it would just be here. You're facing like the side view. That's not good enough. I prefer to actually see the detail here. Okay, so get a hatching effect. That's the worst. Yeah, I consider another experiment successful. Okay, so I'm going to pause there. So if you want to just use this, you can follow along. And yeah, what about some painterly effects? So I'm thinking maybe I can get like 0.2, but here 0.2 as well. Can I do something like this? Okay, this is even more interesting. I can decrease the density a little bit, so it kind of get a painterly effect. So let me decrease that a little bit, just to decrease opacity. Okay, so it can get some sort of like a 3D painting. Okay, I believe this have a great potential when you combine that with, say, grease pencil. Because let's do something like okay, can I get some effect like this? Okay, so I get some sort of painting effect. I believe that we can add some texture to it. Okay, right now it's like facing the camera. Can I move the camera and see the result? Okay, I believe it's kind of moving according to the position of the camera. Let's make it here and grab this camera so you guys can see what is going on. So if I like grab this and move to here, you guys can see everything just to follow my camera's movement. Okay, so I just grab my camera to the right, it's facing right. Grab my camera to the left, it's facing left. Okay, so it's kind of working. So let's continue to experiment this. So project, multiply, definitely not good enough because it kind of rotated a little bit. I want everything to facing me, not rotating. Okay, of course you can get some sort of like a effect while doing this. I believe the project as well as add and subtract works well. Okay, I'm going to use project for now. And this grid, can I have a UV map or some type of kind of texture to it, so you can get like a dot 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 painting effect. In fact, I think maybe not like a too rounded. I'm going to like 0. Maybe double it, 5. Okay. So then okay, it's kind of like a really chaotic 0.1. It's a really thin line. Kind of like hatching, but I want it to be okay, maybe increase the density a little bit. So be something like this. So like a stroke by stroke. Of course you can do this, or you can make it rounded. I believe you can even make not grid. Let's just connect this thing. Okay, can I just delete the connection? Okay, I can do this. I can get this mesh, cube mesh, or can I get a geometry to instance mesh primitive grid? What about cylinder? If cylinder is a kind of like sine, concave gray icosphere, mesh circle or mesh line. I got a little mesh line here. Can I do this? And I can just plot geometry. Can I do this? Yeah, strangely nothing happens. Starting point, end point. Maybe I need to like change this a little bit. It's just offset. Okay, failed experiment. It's not good. What about primitive cylinder grid icosphere? UV sphere or icosphere? What about UV sphere? Let's try this one. Hopefully it will work. Okay, this is even more interesting. You got like a really fat UV sphere. Decreased radius, of course. Like a dotted line, 0.01. Can I do this? Okay, too small, 0.05. Okay, pretty interesting. Go to the camera view. Alright, and yeah. Let's change this position a little bit. Density, of course, increase density, like field, everything here. It's like an experiment. Yeah, I believe that's all to do with the lighting. What about that? Go to solid mode. Yeah, it's kind of like a dotted shading effect. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. Segment ring. I believe this doesn't change that much. I even got like a triangle sort of thing. Doesn't really do that too much good. Not another failed experiment, by the way. So about primitive cube cylinder mesh circle mesh line UV sphere. What about UV sphere? I believe this is like a pretty much the same. Decrease the intensity, decrease the radius. Okay. Okay. Really bad. Okay. Another fail. Okay, I think I just try everything. Okay, so still I believe the grid as well as cube to be best. Okay, whether it's cube or grid, that really depends on your style. Okay, so if you're aiming for a painterly style, I yeah, suggest to go with the grid. Okay, and something like this, maybe 0.2. Okay, pretty good, and then we need to like some sort of a adding color or texture to it. So I test the shading a little bit. I even like attached this geometry node to Suzanne. Okay, it looks pretty good. In fact, I got this like a shading of a very normal shading, just you know, principle BSDF, and yeah, just as simple as that. Okay, and you can change the color as well. So maybe I'm going to place the like a background to black, and change the color to you know, like a reddish color. Can I do that? Okay, I can get the reddish color like this. Okay, hopefully it can have some sort of effects. Why does it not have effects? Maybe it's not a render mode. What the heck is going on? Metallic alpha surface modern displacement. I don't know why it's not showing this effect. Maybe have to some sort of like apply this. Okay. And do I have a light here? Okay, I got a light. Let's get all the. Okay, I got it. So I can get the camera, grab this, change it a little bit. Light, got it. Okay, light. Can I get a sun light? Okay, yeah, pretty interesting. But still, I'm not get the changing of color, and what the heck is going on? Why can't I change this color as well as this color? Why can't I change it? Roughness, can I change it? I change it, but it's not changing color. Maybe it's the light. Let's deal with the light as well. Maybe decrease that to relatively lower. But still, it's not changing color. Why is that? Maybe it's like a facing of the different direction. I'm not sure. Just a pretty weird. Okay, I'm going to like really ponder on this thing a little bit in order to solve this. Okay, I didn't got like a pixelated thing, but still haven't solved this problem. Okay, yeah, maybe I need to like learn more about the node here, as well as how to, you know, do the shading. Right now, I think, yeah, maybe just call it for a day, and yeah, and just yeah, maybe not. Okay, still, I want to like finish it with the better result. Can I just add or subtract? Okay, and get the camera and change different direction. Okay, it's not changing according to my. Okay, I think it's changing. It's changing, but direction is also changing. Which, okay, I think it's changing, but the it seems that the light also affects the final result as well. So my recommendation is that maybe use like a universal light, something like this, with some sort of color, like a reddish color. So when you move the camera to here, you can still see it. Okay, you can still see it. But this time you just got a lot of like a shadow here, because they still have volume. Okay, yeah, that's my experiment. And if you got like more brilliant ideas, do please leave in the comment section below. And yeah, hope this video can help you guys. To you don't need to like understand everything. I sort of treat Blender as a playground, so I can play around with things and experiment things, and maybe create something that haven't been created yet. Okay, so this is my experiment of using this as some sort of effect. Yeah, let's by the way, let's do something about Grace Pencil. I love Grace Pencil. Let's add some line art modifier to every instance. Okay, I think it's just added too much, maybe. Just add every instance. And yeah, definitely not good. What about I decrease the thickness? Okay, I decrease thickness to 1. Okay, so we got like a really thin. Yeah, I got this like a random draw line. This is pretty good. It's pretty good. So maybe I need to okay, this is just a too thin. Okay, I know maybe the instance is too thin to show. Okay, so yeah, I might need to like increase the, yeah, I got it. I got this. I maybe need to increase. Get rid of line art, got it here, and decrease the density to relatively low number. Okay, but at the same time increase the this to 0.1 maybe. Okay, that's definitely too much. 0.01. Okay, a little bit thin line here, but also we can add line art. Okay. And for line art modifier, we can decrease this to maybe 1, so we get a really thin outline. Maybe gradually increase that to see the result. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got some sort of like a stroke sort of feeling. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, I got like a stroke sort of feeling. Pretty good, pretty interesting. I got this as like a dotted line. Can I do this? So I can got like a black, and I can add in a dot, and do something like this, stroke, line, dot, okay, and not fill, change this to dot, and do something like that. Okay, even more interesting with that. So yeah, pretty interesting, and I can even hide the instance, so just leave the grease pencil object. Yeah, it's just that we got endless combination. So right now let's just change that to maybe 10 or just 15, something like that. So it got like I can shading using grease pencil to shade the whole object space. And by the way, this is an object. Okay, so I can change the cube. Okay, I can scale this and change the shape of the cube. Okay, and everything just be inside and fill that line. Okay, it's very helpful. I think I can even get the the impact line here. So for example, let me just get rid of Suzanne. Okay, and the line art we can. Yeah, so for example, if I got one a really long, is I should got a cube, like a really long impact line. So grab this and X, not scale this X-axis. Okay, so got a impact line like this. Okay, pretty interesting. And I can even change the seat, so it's constantly moving. And I can make animation out from it. I can even adding an empty as a trigger, and that empty move away, so you can sort of trigger the animation, something like that. I can maybe not so much of the density, maybe decrease the density a little bit. Okay, something like this. Maybe can make it 1. Okay, even is 1 still is good. So yeah, let me just stop the experiment here because it's already 1 hour. So a quick takeaway is that I know that I can use a specific shape as a starter and use this to attach the geometry nodes to it. And the geometry nodes, I definitely need to improve my mathematics a little bit, because I still am trying to figure out what the best setting for the Euler, yeah, or whatever. It's like a German name, and I'm still not too familiar with the vector math, but I believe that I can quickly learn it by a try and error and learn a little bit about math. And I believe that I just found another way of doing things is that using geometry node to quickly adding things and adding the grease pencil, attach that to every instance that I instantiate, and then maybe move that a little bit to add a sort of animation effect. That's what I learned. Okay, that's what I learned. Yeah, and thanks for the time. And if you think my video is helpful, or if you want to share your ideas, your brilliant ideas, please leave in the comment section and give this video a thumb up, and subscribe my channel. Right? Thanks. Bye. Really bye. I think the last few seconds of our video is that for you to click that subscribe button, and for me is to find the stop recording button. Okay? Bye.